Let's talk about Moon Day Finance. Just so you know, I just started a withdrawal for these dividends, so that should withdraw or click claim just now before I started the video. So hopefully that goes away. I'm going to reinvest and run this up a little bit. This one's a shocker. By the way, just a heads up, this is sponsored content. I will always tell you 100% of the time if a video is sponsored content. You do not have to worry about that with me ever. So if you want YouTubers who are going to, be upfront with you, as transparent as I can, as objective as I possibly can be, then smash that like button, hit that subscribe, because my goal is to do my best to provide content to my audience, and I don't want to mislead you in any way if I can ever help it. Okay, so this project came to me. There's a fascinating story about how this project came to me and how the developer approached me. And I first looked at the project and I didn't like it. I actually told him that I wasn't going to cover the project. And I didn't like it because I didn't understand. Here's what happens sometimes in these spaces in cryptos. A lot of times, and we have to be careful for this when we're bringing people into crypto. What is common sense to us is not common sense to someone who this information isn't common to. And so the developer had some background info that he didn't even realize. Even as I'm making this video, he didn't realize what I was not getting. My question was, okay, you're paying 7% a day. That's a lot. What are you doing? Where's the 7% coming from? And he's like, well, it's coming from the Moon Day contract. And I was like, okay, but how do you get to 7%? And he never could really answer that question. And so I had to, I just was like, all right, man, I'm gonna have to cut you loose. This isn't for me. I can't explain this. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna, promote this. But then I continued to do some research on my own, and I'll get to the rest of that story in a minute. Let me just tell you what Moon Day is. So it's an idea. It's a concept. It's an experiment. Is it an investment? No. Is it is it a speculation? Yeah. I mean, crypto, and this type of stuff is like the junk bonds of crypto. Like, it is high risk, but every now and again you can get very lucky. If you saw my video yesterday about my crypto income, my passive profit strategy, and I talk about my highest risk category projects that look like they will probably have an end date, this goes in that category. If you didn't see that video, I'll link it above. I'll put it in the description. I highly recommend that you watch that video just to get an idea of how I kind of balance or think about my passive income investments, particularly in the high risk crypto space. Now, this project is high risk. Basically, it's 1,969 coins, 1969, the day that we put a man on the moon. First day a man was on the moon, however you want to say it. That's all they ever had. At one point in time, this token was selling for around $20. This project is about a month old. I think it didn't get off the ground. There was some issue with the original developer. I think someone abandoned it, and then a new team picked up the token, etc. And basically all this is a virtual deposit contract. When I figured that out, and the reason I figured it out is because he mentioned it was essentially a clone of Ethereum Gold. And I was like, oh, okay, I got it. And so then it made sense. Oh, look, I got my referrals. I'm going to deposit those in a minute. But he said, when we got the phone, I kept thinking, I was like, oh, that's where the 7% is coming from. So it's 10% in, 10% out, 1% gets burned, essentially. 1% is burned forever. So it's a staking mechanism, and the way you get your fees, you get it at 7% a day. So you make a deposit. When you make a deposit, like right here, 1.96, 1% is burned, the rest is here. And it sits here. You don't get that back. There's no way to unstake it. You don't get it back immediately. You get it back at 7% a day. So roughly 26 plus days, you're going to get it back. When you get it back, it shows up here, available dividends. You can claim those dividends at any point in time. You can sell them, you can restake them, you can do whatever you want to. The idea is it's deflationary with a strong incentive to stake. There's a low supply, low volume, and it starts pushing up price right away. If you wanted to buy and sell this token now, look at this. This is absurd. Now, mind you, when I first looked at this token, they were about $300 each. When I was talking to the developer, $900. It's on a pullback. It's a little bit lower this morning, maybe going back up. It actually hit 1,200. Oh no, not quite 1,200. Sorry. So it hit about over $1,000. It's crazy. Been the high so far. And I was like, my goodness. I've been checking it every couple of days to see what was going on. I was like, my goodness. But it's because it's such a low supply. That's what you have to recognize. There's a low supply. Liquidity's 84,000. It's actually increased a lot. Volume has increased a lot. So people are making transactions. But whenever someone buys and sells, it does move the price quite a bit. So it wouldn't take much to kind of dump the price down. But at the same time, it doesn't take much to get the price to go up either. I mean, literally, this price was sitting around, when I looked at it, I want to say it was around 300. And I thought, 300? Like, my goodness, $300. So I just did that withdrawal. I'm going to actually stake my tokens. One thing that I like about the project, before I go here, one thing I like about the project, the developer actually created 2 videos. One explains the Trigger wallet. I wouldn't even worry about it. And one explains how to set up MetaMask to buy and stake your token. I mean, it's like goes through everything. And then how to add the token to your MetaMask so you can see it. And I was like, good for you. So many times people don't do the basics, but they introduce people to their platform. Where's it at? Moon. There it is. 0.467. So I'm going to 0.467. Try to stake these. Confirm. Hit refresh. And it should, that's total dividends claimed. You see that? The new dividends coming in. That 0.467 should go up here, minus 1% burned. And this contract is showing you basically these are available to pay out. By the way, this thing has exploded. When I first looked at it, there wasn't even 100 total users. Now they're at 295. It doesn't take much. Like, if people jump into this, I mean, it's a total speculation. Like, not financial advice. Don't even recommend that you get in because it's so volatile, so crazy, so ridiculous. I mean, it truly is. And again, I'm so sorry if the dev doesn't want me to say that. The reality is the dev didn't even know I was going to cover this. I want to tell you the story about the dev, and I give him credit for this. I looked at it and I told him, I said, hey, listen, I think you're trying something a little bit different in crypto. I like that. I like something that is a little bit unique. I like when people are using their brains and trying to think outside the box and do something cool. I said, however, I didn't fully get it. I didn't fully understand the 7% because my question, I kept saying, how is this sustainable? How is this sustainable? And I didn't realize it was a VDC contract, virtual deposit contract, 10% in, 10% out. I didn't realize that at first. So, and he didn't explain it. Like, I think he just assumed I knew it right away. So he just kept saying, well, it's sustainable because of the Moon Day tokens in the contract. Now, mind you, there's only 16. Well, there's less than that now. There was 1969. There's less tokens than that now because they get burned. But 702 is locked up in the contract. That's why the price moves so crazy. He said, listen, I can't make you talk about our project, but before you just say you're not going to talk about it, let me at least give you some tokens, let you play in it, let you play with it. Maybe that'll help you understand it a little bit better. What got me more than anything was to watch this price appreciate. I'm like, what in the world? By the way, verified contract, I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean audited contract. It just means, I think that's just marketing. But let's see where the price is at right now. And what's crazy about this, we're at 874 right now. So what's crazy is what's most likely going to happen is the price is going to spike hard and come down. Now, are we on the way down now? Was this 1,000 to cap, or is it going to spike to 2,000, or is it going to spike to 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000? Like, as dumb as that sounds, keep in mind, a week ago almost, it was selling for $30. That's crazy, actually. That is absurd. So 10 days, not even 10 days. Yeah, that's nuts. Back here was selling for nothing. Look at these. I didn't even know these were bars. So there was volume back here. It just wasn't selling for anything. It just wasn't much. It probably wasn't on an exchange. They probably didn't have staking, etc. So look at this thing. So maybe it's ready for a crash, or maybe it's just a pullback before it goes to the stratosphere. Who knows? I'm certain when people sold right here, they thought that was it. They had no idea it was going to do this, and they had no idea it was going to do this. So who knows what's going to happen? But there's definitely an end date. I fully believe that. And I know those in the project wouldn't want to hear me say that, but that's just my opinion. That's my belief. I'm going to tell my audience, what I think, the best of my opinion, the best of my ability. I'm going to give them my best guess. And my best guess is I don't know what this thing does fully. I just think it's going to go up and it's going to go down at some point. But those people that are in it, you bought in at $30, $50. You bought in $100. People are talking in Telegram right now. I bought in at less than $200. I mean, they're tickled to death right now. Hopefully they take some profits. Obviously somebody is, but they're tickled to death. What I like, wait, what? Oh, I was like, wait a minute. That just shot back up. What I like about the project is more than anything is really seeing what deflationary tokenomics does to a project, meaning limited supply and deflation. This project does that more than anything else, any other project that I've seen so far. Now, I don't think deflationary, limited supply, deflationary tokenomics actually matters that much unless there's a real use case. And people think staking for returns is a use case. That's not really a use case. A use case is when somebody would own the token even if they weren't staking it. Like there's a reason that I would want to own it even if I wasn't staking it. That's how I see use case. But anyway, that's Moonday Finance, ladies and gentlemen. The developer basically said, hey, I'll give you some Moonday tokens, play with it, see what you think. I can't make you talk about it. That's a pretty stand-up guy. Like that's never happened before. And I've been offered stupid amounts for tokens to talk about projects before that I didn't want to talk about, but he outright just sent them to me and didn't even, and to be honest with you, it was about $300 per token. I was kind of like, I could just sell these. I almost did. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I didn't want to talk about the project. I had these tokens worth about $300, almost sold them. But then I thought, you know what? He honored me by just giving me the tokens, knowing that I could sell them. Let me at least honor him by staking them on the platform and just watch what happens. And I knew I was getting the tokens back, but I didn't realize how the price was just skyrocketing. So who knows? I staked them again. I don't know what's going to happen. I staked them again. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully that went through. Hopefully it's going through. It says it's approved. Okay, I was trying to figure out why my stake didn't go through. Just so you know this, when you go to stake, it's going to ask you for a confirmation. It goes through 2 confirmations. The first confirmation is going to do this right here after you confirm it, and then just let it count down. And then it's going to, or let it keep doing its thing. And then in a few minutes, it will pop up a second confirmation. You have to go through 2 confirmations. And so it's doing the second one now. And you don't want to refresh the page. See, I refreshed the page. That's what killed it. Just so you know. So there's little tiny stuff like that's not super intuitive. And that's one constructive criticism. By the way, did you see that go up? And there we go. We're at 2.39 now stake. So that makes total sense. And I'll be getting 7% of that back. So this is Moonday Finance. If you have not seen my video on earning my full passive income with cryptocurrency, multiple streams of income for stability and crypto prosperity. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that at the end of this video. This has been sponsored content. Make no mistake about it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, crypto equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.